Hi there, my name is Mihai. I'm part of the development team here at QiTASC, and in this tutorial we are going to learn about SMS steps. What we are going to do today is to automate the sending and receiving of short messages. What we need for this setup is two Android phones, which are already connected to my laptop. We'll use this phone to send SMSs and the other one to receive them. I'll go ahead now and create a new feature file, which I'll name SMS, and our scenario, as I already stated, is send and receive SMS. Cool. First step is to acquire our phones. So I'll need given an Android phone as A and an Android phone as B. Yeah, there is a problem if we use it like this. We don't know which phone will be A and which phone will be B. I want to make sure that this is the sending phone, so I'll have to specify a query to target the specific phone, and I'll use its number. Okay, so its number, it's written on the app, but I can also copy paste it from our debug page. Because intaQt opens a web server. The default port is 8080, in my case is 8089. I changed it, and under the path phones I see all the properties of the phones that are connected to my intaQt. So I'll go ahead and copy the number. This is the number of this phone, and paste it here, plus this number. Great. For the execution part, A has to be the phone that sends the SMS. So go ahead and type when A composes a short message and A types hello world, and within 10 seconds A sends the short message to B.number. Okay, so the first step, A composes a short message. This starts the SMS composition workflow. Then additional steps can follow, in which we specify the text that we write in that short message. And then in the end, we need to send that to a number. In this case, it's B.number. This number is a property of the phone, same as we've seen here. So it will be this number. Okay, we can access the properties of the phone with this dot, and after the dot we can place whatever property of the phone we need. Why we need this timeout of 10 seconds is because, for example, if the network rejects the short message, then this step will fail because the sending was not successful. Okay. In the verification part, we want to check that the receival of the SMS is complete. So I'll go ahead and type the step for that. Again, we need a timeout within 20 seconds. B receives a short message from A number as SMS. Okay, so we expect that within 20 seconds the SMS is received from this number. So in our case, from A number, we can specify other numbers if we have this use case, but in our case we want to check that the SMS is received from A, and we store a reference to this short message with this SMS identifier. This will be available for our next step, where we want to verify that the text that we received is exactly hello world and the network did not change it for us. And verify SMS.text is hello world. Okay, again, this field here, text, something that's available on the instance of the received SMS. There are more fields available which you can check in the manual for. Now let's go ahead and run the test. Okay, so it acquired the first phone, it sends the message, and as you can see, it receives it. The phone ringed and the text is hello world. Okay, now this was one way of testing the sending and receiving of short messages. I will show you another way. So I'll create a new scenario which I'll call again send and receive SMS, but this time we'll make use of compound steps. You'll understand what this is about in a few seconds. This is okay, but we extended our steps to be a bit more flexible and also nicer to read. So this is the old way of doing it. The new test should be done, in our opinion, with a new approach that I'll show you now. I'll mark these scenarios ignored for now because we don't want to execute it again when we start our test. And again, our prerequisites, it's the same prerequisites. We have to acquire the two phones. Okay, I'll do this with a separate step, not like above, and say given phones as A and B, B of type Android. This is nice. Again, this is a compound step for when you want to acquire multiple phones which share similar characteristics, and you don't want to write it for all of them, like given an Android phone as A, given an Android phone as B. You just write it once. Okay, that much for prerequisites. Now for the execution part. Again, we want to send the message from A to B, and we'll write then A sends a short message to B as SMS send. And for this step, this supports step details. So those are the compound steps that I was talking about, and we have a bunch of them. For example, with text, we want to specify the text that our SMS contains. This case is hello world again, why not? And we want to check delivery confirmed to sender within 10 seconds. This timeout here, this is a one-to-one mapping for this one. Within 10 seconds, A sends the short message to B, so we expect that within 10 seconds the delivery of the message is confirmed. Okay, for the verification part, we have to wait for the sending of the message, and for this we have the following step. Then within 20 seconds expect the short message SMS send. This is how I named my SMS here, it should match, to be received, Okay, this will wait for 20 seconds that this workflow of sending the SMS completes, because again, compound steps means it starts in background, it doesn't wait for this action. We have to wait later for it to complete, and this gives us the nice advantage that we can do other stuff in between, like sending other SMS or make some queries into the database if the SMS arrived there or whatever. With this setup, we've just tested the sending of the SMS. We don't know anything about receiving, so this is what we'll test now. For this, we have to specify an additional step here, step detail, and say check reception within 10 seconds. Again, this timeout from here maps to this one from here. Okay, and we want to store the received message as SMS received, so that we can do our checks on it later on. Great. So the SMS was sent. The receiver now is stored under this identifier, which we can check with the verification step that we have. Verify SMS received .text. So the text of the received SMS, we expect it to be hello world. Cool. So if we run it now, it will acquire the phones. It will start the sending of the SMS. It got the SMS within 20 seconds. It finished it, and it very successfully verified that the received text is hello world. So if I put here, I don't know, hello world 2, I would expect it to fail because the text doesn't match. Okay, just wait for it a second, and yeah, we have an assertion error. This is marked as failed, and yeah, so that's it for the SMS steps that we have. Thank you for your attention. Hope you enjoyed it.